Apex, the peak of South African motoring.
Okay, cool. So, personally, I think I'm too old for this car. I do think there's like this cult culture around the GTI that maybe doesn't fall within my age range, but for 670k I might just change my mind. I don't know, it looks cute. What's your feel?
I must say that at first when I saw the car I wasn't so enamored with how it looks, but seeing it in the metal I really do think it looks good. And Van, I don't think you're too old for the car. Definitely not. I mean, I think the way the Golf GTI has evolved over 8 generations, I think it has become a much more refined vehicle. I think it's more comfortable than ever before, making it a proper everyday hot hatch.
But I think it looks cute. Like I think it works.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the rear, I mean, I like the way the rear looks, the tapered tail lamps, the twin exhaust outlets, and then I must say what I really like is the front end.
Yeah.
That honeycomb grill at the bottom
That
with
looks
the
so
fog
cute.
lamps, it looks so good. The only thing now is it's a chilly Cape Town day. We have a hot hatch,
Hey.
and that's to find out how it drives.
Okay, let's turn it up. Super comfortable drive as always. I personally think like people overkill a flat bottom steering wheel.
Okay.
Like this one is like, it's still very subtle. Like I don't think it's like, obviously it is a flat bottom and like you'd expect that in a kind of performance-ish car. Well, I don't think VW wants ish a performance car, but it's not overkill. So and it's very comfortable, and that is kind of where it's morphed into a daily driver, not just this hardcore GTI, which is cool. Like I don't know what you think of kind of general design in the car.
I think it looks very clean. I really like how it looks. I do miss the analog dials and buttons. I mean, there are a few buttons. Most of them are with touch, which I think is fine. Like all of the cars are moving towards that, and for the center console I can still live with it, but I found it to be more distracting because I have to actually look at the steering wheel.
You are turning the volume up or down, small things like that,
or if you're adjusting the cruise control.
No, I'm with you. But look, it is very tidy. It's a clean design. Like we were talking about, like the honeycomb grille. Like they've got like these tiny little honeycomb accents throughout as well. Which I think is cool. Like I like how the speakers have been hidden. So this is my favorite. Like, so the adjustable armrest.
Okay, that is.
Wait for it.
That is cool.
That is like for the long road. So that's probably one of my absolute favorite things of any Volkswagen.
My biggest bugbear is the touch steering wheel controls.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for me. But further,
that is quite a gripe.
I mean, as you said, I agree. The cabin design is so clean. It's minimalistic. Everything is where you would expect it to be. And I think the steering wheel, it looks really good. I mean, the shape of it, the design of it, and that's bar the buttons.
And I like the red accents that they've got throughout the car, and now I'm looking around like and struggling to find them, but there is one here in the steering wheel. Okay, then the red stitching
on the seats.
And I like the headrest for the drivers, or for the front. Everything's cool. Like, and again, ISOFIX, I'm like, do you want to put your kids in your GTI?
I think that's the thing about it. Like, it has become a usable hot hatch. It's not as hardcore as some of the rivals. I mean, for example, the Renault Megane RS which I mean you can get in manual as well. So I'd say that's much more driver focused, where I think arguably one of the best ways to describe the Golf GTI is it's grown up.
Sure.
It is. I think it has grown up, and it's this true everyday hot hatch. It's comfortable, but when you start putting your foot down, it still provides ample grip through corners.
So like on that whole performance side of things, so the 7.5 GTI, what were we sitting at? 169 kilowatts. I think it's 169, jumping up to 180 in this one. So that 11 I think is ample, but at a kind of era that we're in, where we are getting like super performance hatches, and like the Megane being one of them, I expected a little bit more. And I don't know if I'm just being greedy in saying that, but I expected a bit more, but still it is ample. It does what it needs to do. The issue that I've got is there is that whole extra weight thing. It's like an extra 160. It's like two big people. So you've got the extra weight, you've got a little bit extra power. Is that ratio kind of, is it okay? Do you need more, or do you just want more? But what would you compare the GTI to? Like on a fair, like face value, same space, similar specs, similar pricing, what would the ideal comparison be then? Because everybody has been doing Yaris, which it is kind of not, it's not fair. It's not, it is two different cars. It's two different needs. So what would be the perfect comparison?
I would say the BMW 128 Ti. Because it's like BMW built that car
to compare against the GTI,
to take away from the GTI, and I mean it's a spectacular thing.
Okay, cool. So base model, you're looking at 670. Specking it out similar to what we're driving now, like what kind of add-ons do we get and how much is that gonna?
So it's the Harman Kardon sound system, which I think would be a lovely addition.
Which is
superb. It's a superb sound system. Costs 11,400 rand. Then we have the navigation system, Discover Pro system, which I think it's a nice to have as well. Then the IQ Light LED matrix system,
which kind of gives a hell of a lot of personality to this
car. It does.
So you would spec that.
I mean the tilting and sliding panoramic sunroof, it does lend the cabin some ambiance. I mean, not that we are going to open it now.
Well, we can try. Well, it looks like you're dressed for summer, so we might as well just continue with this theme.
And then, I mean, there's the exterior mirrors with memory feature. We have the rear view camera system, which I would have hoped would come standard on a car in this price class. 4,500 rand.
No, you'd like to, especially like looking at like entry level hatches of other manufacturers do bring it standard. So that is,
And then I must say that it is very crisp.
Yeah, very.
It's very, very
super
crisp.
High res.
And then, I mean, adaptive cruise control, which is lovely to have when you are going on a road trip. That's 11K. Blind spot monitoring with rear traffic and lane assist, and then that comes with travel assist as well. Now, if we go to the summary, it amounts to 763,400 rand, which
extra
is
100K.
It's nearly 100,000 rand more than standard, and I think that these are options that, I mean, I would like to have in a car.
You wouldn't go without that, like, and especially with the, like you were talking about the sunroof, like that is like part of the cult that is a GTI. I
love it.
That tilt is just so signature. Like I wouldn't go without it. It's something small, but it's extra bucks if you're dropping. But if you're gonna drop that, might as well drop 100K more and get this. Yeah,
and of course, I mean, included with everything, the Discover Pro media system and all of that, you have the wireless smartphone charging bay, which I think is such a lovely design. So you just flip it up and you can put your phone in and then charge it, and you still have a little shelf there. So I think that is lovely.
The Germans think of everything.
They do.
Almost everything. Good beer and fast cars.
Let me just adjust it. I'm very glad that the The driver's seat has electric adjustment. That really makes it so much easier.
Nice pull off. Okay, look, I'm stoked with this car. I think overall they did a great job. It is cool. I can even like the passenger side. Like I'm not the smallest of persons. I don't know. Maybe I should speak Afrikaans more. But it's comfortable.
It's very comfortable and it handles very well.
Yeah, it is.
And the steering, I think it's well weighted. It's not too firm or too heavy, and it's not too light, but at slower speeds it's light enough to make maneuverability easy, and as soon as you pick up speed it firms up, so it makes it much easier going around corners. I mean, pointing it in one direction, putting your foot down and shooting and going.
Oh, that feels tidy, eh?
Yeah, it's such a refined car.
That's nice.
It's really refined.
It's careful, I'll pay. What would you pay? It's a lot of money.
I would. There's a few options that I would go for. At base price, I think it's well priced. I don't think it's too expensive.
Yeah.
But I would say, as with a lot of German cars, it's to spec wisely. Really decide what you need and what you don't.
Yeah, I think well played, VW. Well played.
Yeah, it's a commendable car.
Apex, the peak of South African motoring.